Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Vermont House Committee on Commerce and Economic Development. It is Tuesday, February 24th, 2026 at 3:51 in the afternoon. And so we're here to mark up and possibly vote on H 512. This is the event ticket bill that we've been working on for the last couple of weeks. And we have our legislative counsel with us, Cameron Wood. So Cameron, if you'd like to walk us through this latest version and hopefully the last one.
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to. For the record, Cameron Wood, Office of Legislative Counsel. Share my screen. We'll walk through draft 3.1 of a strike all amendment for H 512. Really just some minor changes based on the conversation we had last time. For starters here, we've added a definition of price. If you recall, the restriction on the resale of the ticket is capped at 110% of the original price of the ticket, and we included the reference to including taxes and fees multiple times in that subdivision, and the section just kind of got really wordy. So wanted to try to clean it up a little bit just to make it easier to read. So I've added the definition of price. It means the total amount paid or to be paid for a ticket, including all taxes, fees, and charges. Price does not include actual shipping costs. So the next change is going to be moving down here to the bottom of page 2. This is where you have those notice requirements that you all put in. And one of them here at the bottom, that's sub 2, was about the information that is being provided on the availability of tickets on a given exchange. And Madam Vice Chair wanted a little bit of cleanup just to ensure that the goal here is so that the information isn't misleading customers. And so we've removed a little bit of the language. So right now it is, if a secondary ticket exchange provides information about the number or percent of available tickets for a given event, the information shall not mislead customers about the availability of tickets on that platform or on other platforms. So we just removed a little bit to ensure that the goal was not misleading individuals. Keep going. See, people want maybe pause. Okay. So the sub C, I just changed this kind of section heading to ensure that it's a price cap on the resale of tickets. I think originally it was, like I said, price cap on secondary ticket exchange or something like that, but it's a price cap on all resale. So just clarification there. And then we get to the top of page 3, and here's where we kind of cleaned up this subdivision 1. So it's, a ticket reseller shall not sell or offer for sale a ticket at a price greater than 110% of the price of an original ticket. So because we added that definition at the top, we don't need to have all that kind of superfluous language about everything, including taxes and fees, etc. So it just really cleaned it up. Same thing on the sub 2. Secondary ticket exchange shall not authorize for resale on the exchange a ticket priced at greater than 110% of the price of the original ticket. I believe that is it. Everything else remains the same as from how we reviewed it last.
So you were able to make the small tweak that CAG's office.
I did not, but I would be happy to if you want. It would take me probably 60 to 120 seconds if you want me to get you a draft 3.2, and I will just sit here while I do it, if that's okay. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Who's doing that? Do we want to talk about the percentage? Because I know that was a topic.
Oh, 10, whether it should be 10%.
Mhm.
You want to talk about? What would you like to say about it?
Yes. I'm wondering.
It's not showing up on our list.
See.
Oh.
Where is it?
He's fixing it.
It'll be a new one, I think. Go ahead.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem going to 120%. I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. I know there was some indigestion over the percentage. I think, to strike a balance, 120 is not, it's not outrageous. Like charging $600 for $100 ticket, that's outrageous. But, an extra $20 on a $100 ticket, I don't know if that's too, I don't think it's that bad. And you know what? We may find out it is too bad and we can always change it next year. Of course, the same could be said about the 110%. But
Talk yourself out of it.
You are really.
no, I'm not gonna talk myself. I think that, 120% would be a nice balance between the people that don't want a percentage at all. And not that there's anything wrong with not wanting a percentage. It's just, I can understand the virtue of that, and I can also understand the virtue of capping it.
Thoughts?
I'll go next. I don't think there should be any price cap at all. I believe that with proper legislation, a price cap is not necessary, and I believe this is proper legislation. One of the things I find interesting is that we tend to want to make laws that go against natural laws. It'd be foolish for any of us to make a law against gravity, but yet we seem to think that something like this, which goes against the law of economics, would be perfectly workable. Will it work in the short term? Most likely, maybe for a little while. But what I see happening is these reputable companies that are doing this. This is not a cost-effective business model. If I, for example, wanted to do just a local site that dealt with all the Vermont events, I wouldn't even bother now. There'd be no money in it. There'd be no profit. How would I even advertise? And what I think is going to eventually happen is these people, you're going to start seeing ads from non-reputable companies that say, get more money for your tickets by listing with us. Or they're going to go on Facebook Marketplace and all these other different things. That said, the one saving grace and why this is a yes vote for me is because we have a clause in there where you don't have the cap if there's like a contractual agreement between the ticket seller and a distributor.
I'm not sure you can see my hand is up. I was trying to add in, Michael, I was receptive to a higher cap as well. That had been on my mind. But when we asked about what some suggestions might be, I didn't think we got much testimony at all in sharing a perspective on what a good alternative to 10% would be. And that's, all we can do is ask. And the answers that we got weren't things that helped me feel stronger about moving that number from 110 to something above that.
Yeah, 120% might be, something. My concern is I asked the witness, I think twice, so what are the elements of your cost? And, because I know you got to sort of attribute it to a particular ticket, but it seems to me you can allocate the costs and figure out, what's the profit you're looking for. People are entitled to a reasonable profit. And my concern is, he wasn't able to give us some of that information. So then I'm thinking, well, why didn't he give that information? I don't know. I would going to 120%. I don't know. I would have preferred if they had said, you got to go to 120% because of these elements of my costs and what I need for profit. But he didn't do that. Kind of what I'm feeling that 110%, maybe that's okay because he didn't say why that's unreasonable. But, I don't know what other people think.
You had
Yeah, I think the venues would prefer zero. I think Vermont consumers would prefer zero. And the 10% was intended to cover the cost. So just like you, I agree that I don't think they heard justification for higher than that. I do agree, like the contractual piece, like if they want higher than that, get a contract and go as high as you want. There's no cap. So I think like the purpose of us receiving this bill 110% meets that goal. And like I said, I don't think we heard justification otherwise. But
Yeah, I generally agree. I mean, I was skeptical of the idea of a price cap. And I sort of, through reading and testimony and thinking, kind of came around that I think in this scenario, a price cap makes sense. 110% is right. It just seems to be what has been posed. I will say that, but I think the price cap is necessary to limit the harms that are being done. I think we primarily or entirely have very small venues here. We're not, this is not 10,000 person stadiums. I'll also say that I'm not too worried about whether or not the ticket resellers can make money or not, because of course they can. It's just the person selling their ticket maybe has to sell it at a little bit of a loss. So if you bought $100 ticket and there's a ticket reseller that is going to charge you $10 to resell it, or maybe they'll charge you $15 to resell it, and then fine, like you just get $95 back. So I don't know, I kind of came to there that I'm not, I guess I don't really, I don't think we have to set up a model in which ticket resellers, it is a highly lucrative business. And the provision where a venue can have a contract with a ticket reseller so that they can have a trusted source who then, maybe that is the opportunity then for bigger margins. So those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I guess I would say I agree with pretty much everything that's been said. I think my thought about the price cap is that I think 110% is a good place to start. If we find that it's not working, we can always go back and we can adjust. I think that the arts sector, particularly the performing arts sector, has been so outpaced by this shift in the way that we are selling tickets, and it's driving up the market and creating a pretty unstable market. So I think that this would do at least a little something to help bring that stability back to the market and hopefully help our venues and our Vermont consumers.
Okay. So I think Michael put a proposal on the table to go to 20%. Where's everybody? What would you like to do? Keep it at 10, move to 20?
not keep it at 10.
I'd keep it at 10.
I think different, so if everyone wants to keep it at 10, I'm fine with that.
Could go with either as well.
I'd prefer the 110, unless, we got to make a decision here, but if someone can show that they're not making a reasonable profit and covering their expenses at 110, I'd be all ears. But right now, we haven't heard that, so 110.
Well, and I think we have to remember too that the price cap is on the ticket holder who's selling the ticket.
Yeah.
Who's selling the ticket. So if I bought, like Abby said, I bought a ticket for $100. Sell it for 110. It's gonna cost me $15. Am I better off getting $95 and getting no dollars?
Right.
Right, so.
So I just want to say, we're not capping the event ticket marketplace.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're not setting a cap for the events, and we're not setting a cap for the artists. They are going to use our capitalist market to price their tickets. What we're saying is we don't want there to be, we don't want consumers to be taken advantage of by bots and by, a secondary market that is buying up all these tickets so that the fans can't even have access to the artists that they want to support and see. And that's all that we're trying to do here. So that for me is why the 10% is totally fine in a place where I would, not excited to tread at all, but. Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about, all the different stuff that's out there for businesses. And think of DoorDash. DoorDash marks up their food. It's marked up and it's to help the person that's on the,
Doing the dashing.
yeah, doing the dashing. And do I, and that's my ideal bill would be you have to make it look like eBay, and you have to disclose it all.
I
That's
get that, but DoorDash isn't going to the store and buying all the food and saying you can only get food from me.
and
And that's the difference.
well, I mean, that's the reason why I'm like supportive of making it full disclosure. I think for me, the 120% would be a balance for me to get past we're regulating somebody's ability to sell something. And that's, it sounds fine at first, but when we start applying that to industries across the spectrum, I'm positive that, people that they have their small businesses, whatever they have, don't want us as legislature to start capping that. And that's all. For me, that's where the 120% was like, and that's okay.
Coming over to my argument.
I mean, do you
Well-
see a consumer protection argument for it?
So the consumer protection argument on my behalf is we need to have it disclosed. You can charge $600 if you're saying that you can go to the Flynn and get it for 50.
But we can't.
But we can't even call them to do that.
Yeah.
Can't tell them to do that.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
I wouldn't have any problem with that either, Mike. It's just that we've been told that the way constitutional laws evolved, favor that evolution, but the way it's evolved is that you can't, that would be imposing a restriction on the reseller's First Amendment rights. And I wouldn't mind a type of disclosure, but in the absence of being able to use that avenue, I kind of fall back to, well, let's set it at a reasonable amount. And reasonable amount would have, we would have been really helped if people would have told us, what their costs and margins are.
Oh, I get it. And I don't know if that's a constitutional issue with disclosures. But I'm not-
It is, yeah. It's literally a constitutional issue.
I don't understand it either, but
I don't understand how that's a disclosure issue.
the way that it works these days.
I think our legal counsel and our former legal counsel can agree
Yeah.
that it is a constitutional issue, First Amendment.
Otherwise, we could just have a disclosure, a consumer could choose.
Well, that's the way it should.
The ultimate world, yeah, that'd be great.
But
And also
that's not
tell the Senate and tell them to do.
So, So everyone that's in favor of going to 120. I think we're staying at 110. Let's take a look at revised.
So I have a new draft 4.1. I haven't highlighted anything, so I'm just going to run through very quickly some very technical changes that were raised by the Attorney General's office. Surprised they weren't in communication with our editors. When you get to subsection 2, so this is the cap, a secondary ticket exchange shall not authorize for resale on the exchange a ticket for a price at greater than 110%. I had it at priced. Technically, the definition is price, so just rephrasing that slightly. And then in sub 3, this is the subsection about the cap not being in place if there is a contract. The recommendation was to ensure that that was a written contract. So we just added in that instead of contracting, that it's a written contract. And then the only other piece was down here in sub D 1 and 2. It said secondary ticketing exchange, and I think that may have just been like a holdover from the very beginning when we first introduced, because the definition is a secondary ticket exchange. So just aligning those words up and removing the ing. Okay, that's it. There was a comment or a potential recommendation of removing the word event here. It says price cap on the resale of event tickets, because technically the definition is a ticket, not an event ticket. I'm a little more reluctant to do that because I think having event there and also having event in the title section of the subchapter in the section is really signaling to people a little bit more of what you're referring to as opposed to just using the word ticket. So my recommendation would probably keep that. I don't think it has any legal issue by leaving it there. So I think it just helps signal to the Vermonter, the public a little better, more of what you're referring to in kind of normal layman's terms.
That makes sense. I mean, there's plane tickets and parking tickets and.
Good luck if you can resell your parking ticket.
110% cap.
You want a motion?
Not yet.
No.
Any questions for Cameron? Cameron, thank you.
You're welcome.
Pleasure. Susan, anything else you want to weigh in on? I know it's a new redraft.
Very happy with it and really appreciate all the thought and time and that's how I put it.
For the record.
For the record, I'm Susan before, and I'm very happy with the new draft. I appreciate all the thought and time that's gone into it.
Any further discussion, committee? Okay, I'd entertain a motion to report favorably on Eagle 512, draft 4.1.
Make that motion.
Second. You say 4.1? It's okay, it's okay.
So it's been motioned by Representative Wooten, seconded by Representative Duke. Any discussion, committee?
I'll just note that I'll abstain at having reached my limit of votes, or maybe I don't even abstain. What is the thing that I'm going to do?
You are not allowed to vote.
Yeah,
You're voted off the island.
Oh,
finally.
Didn't have.
See how it is.
Okay, so when the clerk's ready, you can call the roll.
Representative Bosch,
Yes.
Representative Wooten.
Yes.
Representative Karis Duncan.
Yes.
Representative, nope. Representative Duke.
Yes.
Representative Mickless.
Yes.
Representative Olson.
Yes.
Representative Priestley, yes. Representative White.
Yes.
Representative Granning.
Yeah.
Representative Marcotte.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, Representative Cooper.
that's it.
Yeah.
10-0-1. Who would like to read? Representative Karis Duncan. And, Okay, great. Committee, thank you. Susan, thank you. Matt, thank you. Thank you. Fine as well.
Yes, do you want me to email it to you?
So you get a clean copy to, oh, don't you let them know. I don't.
I saw the
Yes,
email
it is
today.
there. So, I got it here. So committee, I think that's it for today. We're back here at 9 tomorrow. Everybody have a good evening. We will be back live again at 9 tomorrow morning. I think we're beginning with conversation. CT, I think. CPs, and I think, if we have an amendment on, H 205, then we'll be looking at that,